McCreary County up in Kentucky as well. So unfortunately, Austin, I do only think this problem will worsen as we continue to see these move in from Kentucky, northwest to southeast. Some very heavy rainfall. I'm talking about 2 to 4 inch rates per hour. If a storm sits for an hour long over your spot, those are the kind of totals you could see within just that hour or two time span. So let's talk about where the storms are now. We'll time it out through the rest of the day, let you know when we can finally see this threat kind of start to end. If you're in the Southern Valley, not seeing all that much yet, but Blount County, heads up. You're about to see a very hefty downpour. This is what has prompted the flash flood warning for parts of Morgan, Anderson, Roane, and Knox counties, so would not be surprised if that gets extended down into Blount County and even western Sevier County there as well. Also looking back towards the north and west in McCreary County, also Scott County there in Knox, but also did have a report along near I-40 in the Carnes community there of several inches, several feet of water, I should say, actually, over the roadway. So give yourself plenty of extra time. Do not drive through flooded roadways. We always say turn around, don't drown. So parts of McCreary County, also about 2 to 3 inches of rain estimated from the radar there. Would not be surprised if that one gets extended to northern Scott County. That would include Oneida, as very torrential downpours are occurring, and that's drifting up towards the south and east. Really, my biggest concern is not just what's happening right now, but also looking towards our north and west in Kentucky. Look at the way these are drifting off towards the east-southeast, pretty much moving in the same direction that they're then reforming to the north and west. This is what we call training thunderstorms. I mean, the storms just continue to form over the same areas over and over. So looking at 6 Predictor, this is kind of what it's painting the story. Not everyone's seeing it, especially if you're in the Southern Valley, Southern Plateau, but where you are seeing it, again, very torrential downpours, and it will continue to move over the same spots. Look at McCreary and Scott County, same for Fentress County, Morgan County. Some of those same areas that have the flash flood warning could see a couple more thunderstorms over the next several hours. We're not done early afternoon. I do think it starts to taper off closer to midday, but still about 30 to 40% coverage midday through about early afternoon. I think it's mainly valley eastward once we get past about 2 or 3 o'clock. Here's 4 o'clock, I-75 eastward, so places that haven't seen a whole lot, right up against the foothills and going up closer to the Tri-Cities. That's where it looks like it would be the better opportunity later this afternoon. And then very minimal coverage as we get closer to sundown. I'd say it's less than a quarter of us seeing rain at any given point, and should be very, very light once the sun sets. We lose a lot of energy and then we dry out right around sundown or shortly thereafter, and then we start to clear out finally. I'd say by around midnight or so. But this is the kind of rainfall totals we could be seeing over the next 12 hours or so. Especially my eyes are really on Scott County, southern McCreary County, Anderson County, Morgan County. I mean, 2 to 3, even almost 4-inch swaths there in those darker red shaded areas. So then we'll eventually dry out again after midnight or so. Clouds will clear, and then we will see some fog first thing for your Monday morning, especially in those places that see a lot of rain today and are able to clear out a little bit quicker. So again, we are weather aware through about lunchtime or so because of the repeated waves of rain. Will dry out, or at least it will taper off through the day today. Tomorrow, can't rule out 1 or 2 storms, but I will say most of us are dry, just hot. It's really going to be the biggest story once we get past the next few hours, Austin, is heat index values over 105 much of this week. Dangerous heat.
Theo, thank you.